Okay. I'm gonna wait till it say it started already. It already started though. Let me just talk. Alright, so I'm making this video strictly for my life and my well being and my, you know, existence. Because my spirit guides is telling me right now that this is a very hot topic and it's very important for my part to be out there and my part to be laid down before, anything really happens. So as y'all might know, so I'm making it also so y'all can watch it. Obviously, I might make it private like I did the rest of the evidence type of videos, but I'm a very spiritual person, and that is only because last year in 2020 during quarantine and everything, it it decided to put itself on me. So I didn't choose this, even though I'm very glad I got it. I'm very glad it made my life make sense now, and all the things I've been through make sense now. But all the way, like knowing exactly, like really, like waking up and knowing what it is and what it ain't, that happened last year for a specific reason. So what I'm gonna talk about on this video is what happened to me on June 4th, 2021. So a few months ago. And still to think about the fact that it was only a few months ago, now my head space, like I don't it don't feel like it feel like it was ages ago, but the more and more like my spirit guides keep putting it in my head, so it's something important about it right now, which is important because actually I need justice. A lot of people need justice in this whole situation, but mostly me. So on June 4th, just like now how I'm getting this like calling to make this video, on June 4th I got to like calling to make a video, which my calling to make a video probably isn't like, oh, specifically, oh, make a video. It's specifically like, this is the situation that is being like judged by the ethers, by the spiritual world. That's why I get it. That's why my spirit guides like get it to me, and I start thinking about it, and I start like remembering things about it, because in life, in the present moment, you can miss so many details of what really happened and what's really going on and how you really feel, especially in times where there's a lot of chaos and adrenaline pumping and stuff. So it's best to reflect on stuff, especially bad things, so you can have your like you can know like what really happened and how your story like piece together how it go for real and not the fake kind. So, okay, back to the story. On June 4th, 2021, my sister, who is a year younger than me, set me up and had neighbors, two of them, and it ended up being a little jumping thing because, they got a big family. Set me up to get jumped or whatever, because I think the underlying thing of everything wasn't what they was trying to put it on as the outside thing. The underlying thing was my sister was mad because I feel like she think that I betrayed her, and she always been having some type of like animosity towards me. Like all my life, she always tried to pin my mama against me, because me and my mama had a good relationship like almost my whole life up until recently, these last like 2 years basically, which I could tell y'all that story, but that's not this story. So she just been having a lot of animosity towards me. I just think she don't like me or whatever, and she always trying to pin my mama against me like for like years. Since I was like 13, she was trying to she'd been trying to put my mama against me, and it finally worked. Not too long ago, it finally worked. But I think she was mad because all three of these girls, so my sister, okay, I'm going to go back. So don't say I don't know how to tell a story. Okay. Back before the June 4th thing, me and my sister got into a physical altercation one night. Because, like I said, she had animosity towards me. So, like, she just, wanted to let it out and let it rip or whatever. And, at that point, to be honest, I've been going through so much in my life these last 2 years, like, that I don't care what other people think about me. I don't care what other people feel about me. None of that stuff, because I feel it. Like, I feel people real emotions, no matter what facade they putting on in front of me, like to me, in front of my face, to the physical world. Like, I'm a spiritual person now. Like, stuff that ain't the same no more. I know what's really going on. So we got into our physical altercation like a few nights, or the night before. I don't even know. To be honest, my brain and my existence at that time, and kind of right now too, and before that, it's been very like, it's just been very like out of body experience. Like, so I don't know the timeline exactly. It was a few days before this fight. So a few days before June 4th, me and my sister got in our physical altercation or whatever. And, you know, it died down. We ain't even see each other because she stayed at the neighbor's house. Because she'd be staying at the neighbor's house because they be drinking and smoking and doing all of the stuff that, you know, I guess, you know, people like them do. So on June 4th, this is how it started. I was in the upstairs bedroom. I was in my mama room, actually. And I was making a video because Spirit just was giving me messages of like, okay, so, you know, distance yourself from, I was telling other people, like, distance yourself. Hey sister. Y'all, I just found out I have a new sister. Okay, so I was getting the messages to make the video or whatever. Like, you know, it's a lot of fake people around. You know, don't let them bring you down. You know, going about your business, because God got a lot of things planned for you. And you can't let other people and outside things mess up what God got going on for you. So I was making that video, and I was saying like it was going to be a tower moment, especially the full moon was coming up, or the new moon, one of the two. So I was putting on there like, yeah, it was a full moon in Sagittarius. I was like, yeah, so things is going to fall apart. Something's going to happen to where like it's going to be a big tower moment, but don't let that get you down, because God got something bigger and better planned for you. But the tower moment is going to hurt you. And I had just told the people I was talking to in my video this, right? So mind you, I'm not thinking about it for myself. I'm just thinking, oh, I got the message, so let me share it to the world. Let me share it to whoever, you know, gonna end up watching it. So I come down the stairs, and as I'm coming down the stairs after I made the video, it dawned on me like, we gonna be in court. We gonna be in court. Something, whatever going on, something in the background, is court gonna be coming up. So I'm getting these downloads and I'm getting these messages. I had the biggest headache, even like right now. Like, I got the biggest headache, and that's how I know I need to be talking about it like outwards. Because when I get the messages and I keep it in, it make a big headache come on my head to where I got to just speak it out. Then when I speak it out, my headache be gone. So I'm like, okay, let me go tell my siblings, my younger siblings, because I got 5 younger siblings. The one that set me up is the next oldest after me, and then we got 4 younger siblings, and one of them is a girl. The next 3, the youngest 3 is boys. So I come downstairs, and I'm like, y'all, to the 4 of them, the 4 youngest ones. I'm like, y'all, if y'all ever have to go to court for anything, I just want y'all to know it's in your best interest not to lie. Especially if you getting asked a specific question that's yes or no, did this happen or did this not happen, do not lie. Something like that. I was just letting them know, like, in the court of law, tell the truth. They have you put your hand on that Bible and put your right hand up to God and everything for a reason. That stuff way more spiritual than just talk. So I was letting them know, if that was to ever happen in any situation in their life, don't ever lie. Don't ever make yourself look like a guilty person by lying, because anybody that's lying is guilty. So I was letting them know that. But my siblings are so like nosy, and they so like, you know, they try to be so grown or whatever. I was being subliminal about it. Meanwhile, I was talking about a specific situation that I felt like this was about, but I didn't tell them that because they run their mouth too much. So my sister, the one that's younger than the 4th sister, so the sister that set me up, she a Taurus. So I'm gonna go by zodiac signs. So the sister that set me up, she Taurus. So I'm gonna call her Taurus. When I say Taurus, that means my sister. Okay, that's a year younger than me. So my other 4 siblings, my sister, she was like, are you talking about the neighbors or whatever, the stuff that's going on with the neighbors or whatever, and what happened and stuff in the videos and all that kind of stuff? And I was like, you know, like I just told them, I can't be a hypocrite and, you know, do what I told them not to do. So I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I let her know. Wait, actually, at first I asked her, wait, what you talking about? Who you talking about, to be specific? Because to be honest, it was a few shady neighbors. It's a few shady neighbors and stuff that it went down in the last few months. So she said the neighbors, to the left, to the right, and I was like, yeah, I'm talking about them. Y'all know that's why y'all the only ones that's involved in that one anyway. So she was like, what you mean go to court? We gonna be in court? What you mean, Keirra? We gonna be in court and stuff? And I was like, no, I'm not saying we is gonna be in court. Y'all is gonna be in court. I'm just saying that if it ever was to happen, do not lie, because that is not a very, like, that's a serious situation. It's a serious environment and it's serious. Don't ever lie. And so she was like, okay. And then so the rest of them, they like, wait, to me, they basically, like, now that they got that information, they like want me to be specific. They don't want me to be subliminal about it. So okay, so I'm like, okay, so whoop the bam. If we got to go to court, because I'm getting the feeling like we got to go to court about this, it's gonna turn into a court situation because too much like crazy stuff and illegal stuff didn't happen. It's like it's gonna end up in court, and y'all better not lie, because y'all will look like guilty people if y'all lie, and make us look bad if you lie. And they was like, but Keirra, what you talking about? Like, what would we lie about, whatever? And I'm like, what you mean? So I'm giving them scenarios. So if the court people ask you, did this happen? Did you see this? Have this ever been said? And did you ever hear this? And did you ever see anything like this or whatever? And I'm giving them specific things that I know that it went on in the environment that we was in. And they was like, some of them was like, yeah, I tell them, yeah, it happened. Some of them was like, no, I would tell them it didn't happen. I'm like, see, what I just said was don't lie, right? Because that's guilty. If you lying, now you look like suspicious and guilty. So we talking about it. So we talking about it freely at that point, because I'm trying to let them know, like, the severity of do not lie. Like, what's going on is way bigger than what y'all kids thinking y'all protecting and thinking that y'all having a handle on and having secrets about. It's bigger than that. So we talking about it. So then the sister that's a year younger than me, Taurus. So Taurus come out the basement, because that's her room or whatever. She come out the basement and she like, why is y'all talking about them? Y'all need to mind, Keirra, you need to mind your own business. Why is y'all talking about this? Da da da. Mind you, I'm talking to them. I'm not talking about the situation, just the gossip. I'm telling my siblings that when or if, but technically when, because like I said, Spirit was telling me it was a definite yes, this is what's gonna happen. So I'm telling them, not to put themselves in a situation that they don't want to be in by lying, or by, doing stuff that they wasn't supposed to be doing in the first place, and lying and all that kind of stuff, like that. Y'all know, anybody with a good moral heart know why you do not lie. You know why it's not good to lie about things that actually happen in reality. So she started going off on me. And so we had threw some words back and forth, like some fighting words, I guess, something like that, I don't know. But she was saying them first towards me. And I went back, and I'm the older sister, so y'all know how older sisters be, right? So she getting mad because, I'm like, what you gonna do? But what you gonna do? So I'm like, okay, she's talking about she want to fight me. She's giving me fighting words. Like, if we was outside and if she was a shot on the street, we would have been like, it wouldn't have been like how we was talking in the house as sisters that's heated at each other. But she was acting like she was for real, like a op. Well, she is a op, but she was like really acting like she was opposing, which she is. But I'm just saying, at that moment, acting whatever. So something like that, whatever. So she called my mama, whatever, and lied to my mama and tell her that I'm trying to fight her in the house. So my mama already has said, if we fight again, because we just fought, like I said, we just fought a few days before that, and she was literally supposed to kick both of us out, kick her out, especially because she started the fight. She hit me. And I'm not gonna lie, so that's a sister, that wasn't a sisterly fight, because she was fighting me for real, but my response to it was a sisterly, like, I could beat you up, so don't play with me, bing, 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 like that. But I wasn't trying to hurt her. Nobody was like, injured. Oh, except for my stomach and my uterus a little bit. But so she got my mama thinking that I'm trying to fight her in the house, whatever. And I'm like, so my mama like, y'all both, when I get home, both of y'all can get out. I'm tired of y'all. Da 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 da. Both of y'all Candace almost grown. Keirra, you grown. Da 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 da. Y'all can get out of my house and stuff like that. And I'm like, but that's not even what just happened. And then so I told her So I told her what I was saying. I'm saying I told them if they need to go to court, they better not lie. And then they asked me what I was talking about, and they had it right. So I said, yeah, that was right, and we started talking about it. And she was like, but why is you talking about this? If it happened, it happened. I'm like, Mom, but it happened in our house, so we are part of it regardless. And plus, we are part of it because all your kids steady going over their house, and all your kids know what's going on in this household. So what you mean? But she like, y'all don't. Oh, thank you. I'm like, she like, but Keirra, why is you talking about them? So she steady just making it, both my sister and my mom, like, going at me, talking about something like, but why is you talking about them? Why is you talking about it? Da, da, da. And I'm like, what is y'all talking about? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about our part in this is a serious situation, and nobody is understanding the fact that this is a serious situation but me. So, long story short, I get off the phone. We all get off the phone, whatever. My sister, she left out the house, and she was like, I got something. She said something along the lines like either she got something for me or like she said some type of thing that alluded to me knowing that she was finna go over there to what we was talking about, to the neighbor's house to the right. She was finna go over there and probably go tell them or whatever the freaking have. I don't even know, but I could tell she was finna go over there and tell them. So she stayed over there a long time or whatever. So I'm sitting in the house. I get a call from my great aunt. Our great aunt, she told me she was outside, which I didn't know she was coming over, because she said she was gonna bring me some pictures of my grandma, which I've never met her. She died when my mama was 13. So I'm sitting in my great aunt's car, and we talking and everything, and all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I just seen my sister Taurus walk to the park, and behind her, like some little ducklings, is two of the people from the neighbor's house, two girls. I'm not gonna put their names out there, but it's Virgo and Leo. So she walk in, my sister Taurus, she walk into the park, like, and she mad. I can tell she mad, and she telling them something, da da da. So I know what she's talking about. She's talking about me and what just happened in the house. And they listening, eating up, they walking to the park. Mind you, they don't know that I'm sitting in this car watching this all go down. So my sister telling them what had happened in the house or whatever, and she telling them they getting whatever they got going on in the park. They getting it together, whatever. So next, I'm steady, like, in my head, I'm like, I start feeling the adrenaline pumping in my body. And in my head, I'm like, it's finna be something. It's finna be something. Like, she's such a op. All of them thinking in the kid mind of this whole situation or whatever, and they making stuff worse. And she keeps setting me up with these people who I don't trust, haven't trust from the jump, and been telling my mama and been telling all of them to stop going over their house, stop letting them in our house, because whole time they was stealing out our house. And I kept telling them that, and they still wasn't listening to me. So if y'all want, I was like, well, if y'all want to get y'all stuff stolen out this house, that's fine with me, but don't let nobody come in this house stealing my stuff, because my siblings already steal all of my stuff, so I don't need no outsiders stealing my stuff too. Like, I was fed up with it, so I had stopped messing with them anyway. I wasn't really, like, but at the same time, since my siblings was in the mix of the situation and nobody could stop them from being in the mix of the situation, I kept inserting myself in the mix, because I know I'm the only one with the keen eyes to know what's going on in the situation. So I peeped every time it was somebody that was trying to have sex with my little 15-year-old sister who was grown or almost grown. I kept peeping every time I kept peeping the fact that they was either trying to set her up and have sex with her, or they had already did it and had sex with her. So I started watching how she was moving. I started watching how everybody was moving around her. I already knew that my other sister, Taurus, had sex with, I'm going to just call him FN Aquarius, which FN Aquarius and me, we had sex too. But, technically, he wasn't supposed to be having sex, and he was having sex with Virgo and Leo too. Mind you, he not the family member, but he just stay in their house. So they all was mad because Candace, my sister, the Taurus, was telling them that we was talking about them in the house, and plus she had just found out the night before that it was true that me and FN had sex. So I guess she let all of she let it all out to them, And like I said, FN Aquarius was having sex with Virgo for sure all the time. And Leo too. Heard they ran a train on her or whatever. So I guess that's what they was conjuring up at the park. So I'm still in the car, mind you. I'm still in the car with my great aunt, and all of this stuff running through my head. My great aunt talking to me or whatever, and I can barely listen to her. So I finally just tell her, I feel like my sister finna set me up to try to get these girls to fight me. And she was like, "What you mean? What's going on?" So I get her a little brief, like what's going on, what just happened in the morning, whatever. And so she was like, just ignore them, da da da. And people kept telling me just ignore it, but I had been ignoring it for like a year and a half. I've been ignoring it, and that was the problem. Ignoring it doesn't help it. Ignoring it just put a top on the boiling pot. And when you put a top on the boiling pot, it just simmer, it just go overflow and simmer over and all that kind of stuff. So that's what was happening. So I'm like, nah, whatever, nah. So I'm like, okay, but like, nah, because it's bigger than what it even sounds like. So I see my sister and them walk from the park, and they get to the corner, which we gonna call the corner what it is. They get to Delaware, and they split up. So my sister, she go to the neighbor house, and the two girls, Virgo and Leo, they walk up to my house, my mama house. Mind you, I'm still in the car, right by the house, in front of the house, right there. They just don't know, because the car is a car that never been there before, so they probably didn't even think to pay attention. But I'm sitting in the car and seeing all of this go down or whatever, and they walking up to the thing, and I could tell, yeah, they coming over there, they want to fight. So I'm like, okay, they want to fight. So who they want to fight? They want to fight me. They want to fight my sister Naya, because they did have beef with my sister Naya too, which is the one that I didn't tell y'all what her zodiac sign was, whatever. But she a Scorpio. So I'm watching, me and my great aunt. Now she watching too, because she like, why they on your porch then? Why they on y'all porch? And I'm like, because I'm telling you, my sister just told them some stuff. Now they trying to fight. So they don't know I'm in the car, but I'm watching them. They knock on the door. My sister come to the door, and they asked her look like to either come outside or to come to their house. So I'm like, hopefully she don't do it. But so she left from by the door to go put her shoes on. And so my brothers and them came outside. So as my brothers and them came outside, they don't know what's going on. They ain't in the mix of what had just happened outside. So they come outside, and so they looking for me already, and they already knew I was going outside to go meet our great aunt. So when they see the car that don't, never been there, they know I'm right there. So they looking at me or whatever, and they like, Keirra. And I'm like, dang, they just blew my cover. So as soon as they say my name, looking towards the car, the two girls that's sitting on my porch waiting for my sister to come outside, they look over and they see me in the car too. They start laughing. And I'm like, yep, I knew it. So my sister trying to set me up, and they trying to fight. So at this point, my adrenaline pumping. So I don't like knowing when something about to happen, because my adrenaline pumping, like, it make me black out faster, and it make me start shaking. And once I start shaking, I know that I'm about to black out. So I could feel myself like I get cold. I don't get hot. People say they get hot and get heated, but I get cold, and that's why I start shaking. So my body temperature, it dropped, and I started shaking a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm telling myself stuff to make me calm down or whatever. So I see my sister. So right as they start laughing, my sister come out the house, whatever. So I'm thinking maybe they want to fight her too, because why is they telling her to come outside? So I'm like, if they touch my sister on Jesus, I'm going outside, and I'm gonna fight them little girls, because they, like I said, they 15 and 16, I think, either both 15. I think they both was 15. Mind you, I'm 19, and the FN Aquarius that they all mad that I had a sneaky link with, he is the same age as me. We only a couple days apart, mind you. So they are on the porch, and they not giving off the vibes yet in the physical that, they trying to fight or whatever. But I could tell just by the energy with how they walked up to the porch, how they just was with my sister, and how everything was going on. I knew what was going on. So I'm watching to see what they finna say to my sister. So they trying to get my sister to go to their house. And I forgot, like I'm telling y'all, since my adrenaline was pumping and stuff, I don't know. So that's why, like, my memory, like, it's just like, I got the memory of everything that happened and stuff, but it's just my memory of, like, the structure of how it all went down. Like, I can't remember exactly what happened after they tried to get her to go to the house. But long story short, we start arguing, because I could tell they trying to fight, and I'm like, nah, you go in the house. That's okay. So that's what happened. I'm like, nah, you go in the house. Don't go with them or whatever. They trying to set you up. And so they started laughing and whatever, and then so they covered Blue. So then Leo, she started puffing her shit, popping her shit towards me. Da 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 da. I'm like, oh heck, I'm like, first of all, I ain't gonna put my hands per se for real like on these little girls, because in my opinion, a person my age shouldn't be fucking them. So a person my age shouldn't be fighting and putting their hands on them either. Cause it's like the age, the difference, the mindset difference, the everything is different. It's not the same. And I'm very mature for my age and everything. I done been through a lot, so it's very different. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk my shit, but I'm not finna get out this car to go really fight nobody, because I shouldn't be putting my hands on nobody. Nor should anybody be putting their hands on me. Violence and all, should nobody be putting their hands on nobody at all. But so we popping back and forth. So I'm like, my adrenaline pumping so bad. So I call my cousin, who lived close down, and I tell her what's going on. So she like, hold on, okay, I'm finna get up. So then I call my other cousin. No, actually I call my cousin dad and let him know. And then he married to my aunt, so he let her know. So then, they all know. So she popping her shit, steady telling me, okay, get out the car because I want to fight. Meanwhile, this what she gonna say. My cousin came outside and was trying to mediate. So she's like, what's going on? So y'all trying to jump her? Because ain't nobody jumping her. If y'all want to fight one-on-one, then fight one-on-one. But ain't nobody finna jump her. They was like, no, because she said woo up the bam about my niece. Leo said I said something about her niece. Mind you, I know who her niece is. Her niece is a little baby. First of all, I love babies. I wouldn't talk about no baby. And if I had anything to say about anything pertaining to her niece, it would be that DCFS need to come in that house to come take that baby away. Because nobody in that house is fit to be a parent. And no kid in that house is fit to parent the way that they be parenting. And I'd have been in that house and seen so much crazy stuff going on that ain't even an environment for that kid. And I know for a fact. Like, so if I was to be saying something, so she said that I said something like bad about the baby or whatever. So either she was bluffing and lying and stuff, or my sister that was setting me up, low-key could have told her that to try to like amp her up and make her mad more, because my sister grimy. Taurus, she grimy. So I'm like, okay, so I can't tell if she bluffing and just telling my cousin and saying that out loud so she feel like she have a real reason to try to fight me right now, or if that's really what my sister told her. My sister could have told her that part, but no, they wanted to fight because that's why it was all three of them. Because effing Aquarius had sex with my sister. Effing Aquarius was constantly having sex with Virgo, and he was having sex with the Leo. But it was all in sneaky link type of thing. So when it was happening, didn't nobody know. So that's how things was getting mixed and timelines, and so many people was having sex with him because we didn't know like that he was having sneaky links with the people, the 15-year-olds he wasn't 14 actually at first. He wasn't supposed to be having sneaky links with. So they all mad at me because my 19-year-old self and his 19-year-old self had an encounter. That really shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't have happened. But, it did. And, it did. So whatever. Twice. So whatever. But the first time it didn't happen the way it should have happened, though. But I ain't gonna lie. It ended up happening the second time. So, So, I get out the car with my cousin. So my cousins, so I told y'all the first cousin came that lived right there, so she mediated. My other cousins pull up, and they pull up. The way that they pull up, I could tell, okay, these the cousins I know that's on my side or whatever, because the way they pulled up, it was like, skirt, 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 park. I'm like, hold up, I'm finna go in the house. So they was blocking the house the whole time. That's why I stayed in the house, because like I'm saying, like, ain't nobody finna put their hands on me, let alone jump me. I've been jumped one time in my life, and I don't plan on getting jumped again. That was my mindset at that time. But turned out I get jumped 3 times, because back to back, I got jumped 2 times on June 4th during this altercation, whatever. So my cousin that get out the car, so she popping her stuff or whatever, and I'm like, nah, get back in the car, I'm finna go in the house and put my shoes on. So I go in the house. All I hear is, say fire, stop fighting. Like chaos, ruckus. So I'm like, they fighting. I just told them not to fight. Because I was for real about the whole violence thing. Like, I do not promote violence. I really don't promote violence. It don't solve anything. It just make more stuff. It just really make more stuff. So I hurry up. I was going in the house to put my shoes on because I had some house slides on. I had some Nike slides on. And first of all, if I ever get in a fight, I'm not wearing no Nike slides in a fight. No. So I got my gym shoes on. So as I'm trying to put my gym shoes on and I hear this, I have to run down the stairs because ain't nobody, first of all, finna jump my cousin. Ain't nobody finna, nothing. So that's what I'm thinking going on. I run down the stairs. I jump down the stairs, jump off the porch. I'm running around. I jump towards where the fight at. It's in the middle of the street of Delaware. But it's a one-way, so it's in the middle of the street. But as I get super close, I realize, like, my cousin, because I see my cousin the whole time, but I don't know who the girl she fighting is. So when I get close, I see my cousin fighting my sister, not Taurus. Because if it would have been Taurus, that would have been very, very legit, because that's who started it. But she fighting my littler sister, the Scorpio, and I'm like, what? No, stop. Why did y'all let her fight her, first of all? And so... But this happened so quick, so adrenaline pumping, everything, so I get the chaos or whatever. So I'm running up towards the fight. So the fight right here, as I get right here, I stop because I realize that's my sister or whatever. But then I hear on the side of me, Virgo, like, she's saying, I don't even know what she was saying, but she was saying something, and I turn around like, what? And she running up like crazy, and I knew they was just trying to jump me, so I'm like, I'm on guard. And she was like, so she on guard too, though, seemed like, though, but she was. And she like, what? Run up. And she did that, and then she hit me. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So we tussling, whatever. Like I said, I promise y'all, I did not, I blacked out for a second during both of the times that we fought that day, which was first off the Virgo, and then second the Leo. But the Virgo, I didn't black out that quick because I have a soft spot for her. So I was like, I'm not finna put my hands on her and destroy her the way that I could. So I hold her. So she hitting me. I'm telling, she got some hands. I ain't gonna lie, but she's super skinny, and I'm very strong, especially when I'm mad. So she hitting me in my face, whatever. She hitting me in my head. So I'm blocking her shots to my face, first of all. So she hit my head or whatever. So finally, like I'm doing this. So like I said, she hitting my head now. Boom, grab her arms, lock her arms up, putting her arms behind her. So she ain't hitting. We just sitting there in the grass at this point because we fell over. I'm in the grass. She in the grass. I'm holding her hands back. And I'm like, first of all, because I'm mad. First of all, because I don't like people putting their hands on me. So I'm like, bitch, first of all, you ain't even strong like that. Don't make me ruin you, whatever. So I'm saying my shit, whatever. But I haven't blacked out shit, because if I would have blacked out, it would have been different. So since I had got her hands, it was no fighting or nothing. I had her hands pinned down and everything. My cousins, then they broke up the fight, whatever. So we broke up the fight. So I was recording. So before I went to go put my shoes on, I put the phone and set it up somewhere and it was recording. But mind you, I didn't know what was going to go on. So where I put it at, it didn't catch nothing but sound, which I still got that. So, I grabbed my phone from where it was at. And as soon as I grabbed my phone, and mind you, so this the blackout part. So I didn't see all who had put their hands on me, but I did feel extra hands on me. And after the fight happened and me and my family and them was talking, they let me know all who jumped in the fight, which was basically all of Virgo brothers and sisters. Brothers and kind of sister. And they said that the Leo was trying to jump in that fight or whatever. So, but I ain't gonna lie, that part, I wasn't tuned in to what was going on around us. I was just tuned in to the fact that she was fighting me and that I felt other people's hands on me. So I picked up my phone, and so now they all surrounded me. My sister being the ringleader, and so I had ended the recording. So then I started a new recording because she coming up towards me, and I'm like, I gotta get this stuff on video. Same way I'm doing this, I gotta get real life stuff, what happened in my real life, because nobody been taking me serious this whole year and a half. I've been telling my mama they plotting against me. They doing stuff, they stealing from me, they doing all of this stuff, getting on my skin like it's something going on. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody wanted to keep saying, oh, Keirra crazy, which I did go to the mental hospital, but it was because all of them was gaslighting me and like they was doing stuff to my spirit, like on purpose. And it was just really like, it was just horrible, and I was very depressed and everything. But that was in 2020, so this 2021 of the fight stuff. But I went to the mental hospital in 2020 when the stuff was really at a peak of behind the scenes stuff, and I was peeping it. That's what made me wake up. That's what made my spiritual stuff like dawn on me and stuff, because I kept feeling like what was going on, and then it just let me know, yes, it's going on. That's why you feel it, because it's going on. So I'm recording, and my sister's like, I'll break that phone. You recording what you recording? And so then the girl, the Virgo, so she started twerking because she see I'm recording or whatever. And my sister slapped the phone out of my hand. And I don't know, I blacked out a little bit after that, because I have a big problem with you, sister. You shouldn't even be considered my sister no more, because you literally just set me up for outsiders for no apparent reason. And what me and you have going on, you should be woman enough to take that up with me yourself. Not conspire against me with some people on the outside. First of all, they only friends with you because specific things. I ain't even gonna put that out there, but people should know why they been friends with my sister and been trying to keep her close, because she know too much. And also, people should be smart enough to know when bad people have so-called allies or people they using and they know too much, the only way to get rid of them is to kill them. And that's why I'm putting my story out there. That's why I'm putting this out there and stuff. First of all, because I feel like I need justice for sure. But also at the same time, I keep having visions of this guy shooting my brother and doing stuff to my sister, which I already knew they was doing stuff to my sister or whatever. But like, and I'm not even in the same state as them no more. But it's steady plaguing my dreams. Spirit steady telling me stuff. So like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do. This whole year and a half, now it's about 2 years now, probably. Not still, it's like a year and a half still. But I don't know what to do about it. I really don't. And the cops in Indiana, because that's where it took place at, in Indiana, they do not care about people's lives. That is why Indiana, specifically Gary, have such a high crime rate, and so many people get shot and get killed, and there's no justice for that, because the police out there, they do not do their job. They will straight up tell you that they're not coming. I was homeless, like I said. So on this day that my sister, so I just told y'all about the first fight, so I'm gonna just say this myself. I can't tell a story without going into a multiple like story, but that's because that's how life is. Things don't happen and simultaneously. That's why it's be so mixed up. They literally, so my mama put me out because it was more chaos by her house, and she was like, da da da, you know, I was the scapegoat. This whole situation, they made me the scapegoat. Meanwhile, in all reality, I've been the one trying to make things right and trying to situate things as the person who know the bigger picture of what's going on. But they use me as a scapegoat, as the black sheep, the scapegoat. So they straight up told me though that they wasn't coming one night, and I'm like, I'm homeless, da da da. First of all, it's people steady getting shot on the street that I'm on, and I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. It's late at night. I ain't trying to get raped, get kidnapped, get killed, none of that. And they straight up told me that they wasn't gonna come. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, my supervisor told me not to come. Mind you, go search up Gary, Indiana. Mind you. So I'm like, wow. So at this point, I had in my head during that, so that's skipping the part. So that was a few weeks after that. Well, a few days, something like that. I don't even remember no more. But mind you, so at that point, I'm like, all of these people turned against me and doing crazy stuff. So I felt like in the police department, they had some grimy stuff going on, because they knew well enough pieces of what be going on around there, because like the report said of why my mama put me out, and then they told me that I got banned from the housing property or whatever, which I don't know if that was I don't know, something be telling me that wasn't exactly true, but supposedly that was true. And it was because every police report that came to that address, it had my name on it. First, mind you, yes, every police report does have my name on it, because like I said, I've been the only one in this whole situation being the bigger person that know everything like the adult, because nobody's parents act like an adult. On a mental level, emotional, and what be going on in a bigger picture, none of their parents act like parents. None of them kids, they be thinking they grown because they do grown things, but none of them be thinking logically. Logically, I'm the only one. So yes, of course, every time some stuff start going down and it start getting bad to where I feel like it needs some mediation because ain't nobody parents mediating shit, of course I call the police. Even though, like I said, the police don't never do their motherfucking job. Mind you that. But yeah, so back to June 4th. So that was the first fight. So they break that up, whatever. So then Candace, my sister, the Taurus, slapped the phone out of my hand or whatever. And I don't know if this was after the second fight, which was with the Leo, or if it was before it. But FN Aquarius came outside during the whole mix. Which, okay, I left a part out. So I saw my sister, when I said that they split ways in the beginning before all of the fight stuff started happening, before the cousins came. When I said my sister and them came from the park, the sister and the neighbors, the Leo and the Virgo, they came from the park and they went separate ways, and my sister went to the house or whatever, to the neighbor's house. So when the stuff was going on with the Virgo and the Leo on the porch, I saw my sister, my ex, a Virgo, and FN, the Aquarius, they all three walked down the street on the one way, which I could tell they went to the gas station. They all three walked to the gas station, and that's one of the other hints to me that they was finna try to fight and that they was plotting and stuff. So let me tell you. So my ex was with my sister, which is a very good backstory to that too. And FN, so that's how I knew really something was going on. So mind you, when I ran up to the fight in the beginning, when I noticed it was my cousin and my sister, I saw three people walking back from the gas station way, so I knew that was my sister, the Taurus, my ex, the Virgo, and FN, the Aquarius. They was walking back from the gas station. But mind you, so FN, now he inserted himself in the situation. My ex, the Virgo, I don't know where he was at. I don't know where he went, what happened. He just jetted and disappeared, but I saw him in the mix to begin with, so he ain't slick. FN, and he like involved himself in the situation, which this whole situation, go back to the root. He the root of the whole situation, everything. And everybody try to make it seem like I'm the root of the situation because I put people business out there, or I'm talking about people business. First of all, the business is a crime. So I don't care what nobody think they got business about. Y'all a bunch of kids with criminal things going on that affect my family and me, and y'all been doing crazy stuff to me. So what you mean in your business? You ain't got no business. Your mama need to wake up and realize that you got too much business, actually. But anyway, everybody parent really should have been waking up and realizing their kids just had too much action and too much business and was being too grown. But people like to make that a nice thing in a black community. Society want the black community to be messed up the way it is. And that's why they don't care. And I feel like that's another reason why the police wasn't doing their job. Okay, so he inserted himself in the situation. I feel like it was between the fights. So some stuff happened with him. And he ended up punching my cousin, the one that's my age. Because my other cousin, the one that lived close by us, like she lived right there, so obviously she older than us. So the one that's my age, he ended up punching her in the face. Her eye was bleeding. Her eye was like, he just messed up her eye. Her eye was bleeding. So after the first fight with me and this girl, though, the police did show up. And I don't know. That's why the timeline, I'm like, my headache is just, I must be going off track of what they want me to say because my headache started coming back again. So I'm going to keep going. So anyway, I'm going to get off that part. So then next, what happened was the Leo decided to fight me. So the Leo fighted me. She big, bro. And I had just lost like a lot of weight from stress and everything, to where they had started a rumor around the block saying that I was on crack, which I obviously wasn't. But, which was Aries, the Virgo neighbor. The oldest, not the oldest, but the second oldest. He act like the oldest, which he was in a whole bunch of the bad stuff too. He just didn't happen to be there on June 4th because he was so-called at work. He was probably at work for real though, but he was at work when this June 4th situation went down. So she big, and I'm not, like I said, I haven't blacked out really this whole time. I haven't blacked out other than like a second. I feel like it was a second. It could have been longer, but I feel like I didn't black out, especially not as bad as I could have. So I'm feeling the fact. So I'm on the ground and she like on top of me, her vagina all in my face. She trying to do this thing that I had learned from my mama, which was you put your knees on somebody, either shoulders, they arms, they hands, or something like that. So when you hitting them, like they can't do nothing. And she was trying to do that to me. So I peeped that. That's why her vagina all in my face. And I was like, oh hell nah, this bitch not finna do that shit to me. Nah, hell nah. So I'm wiggling, I'm trying to throw her ass off me. Mind you, she's so heavy, bro. She's so heavy. And my skinny ass at the time, because I done gained some weight since then. I'm like, nah, she not finna get me like that, bro. She not finna get me like that. So, now this time, I see everybody else getting involved in the fight. So I see all of the little kids of the neighbor house, they all throwing their licks in, pulling my hair, the Virgo pulling my hair. So once they pull us apart or whatever, first of all, it's like 3 different hands in my head pulling my hair. So I'm trying to figure out where the most tug coming from, and I'm like ripping people's hands out my hair. And so the very last person that had my hands in their hair was the Virgo, and she's like yanking my shit. And at that point, I'm so furious because in all actuality, I really wanted to mess my sister up, that Virgo up, that Leo up, the FN Aquarius up. And I wanted to go down to my ex house, the Virgo, and I want the boom, like, really, I really wanted to do so much, but I knew it wasn't smart for me to do that. It was very unsmart for me to do anything of the things that was going through my mind of what I could have did. And that's exactly why I didn't black out, because I kept myself grounded to not do some stuff that was going to get me put again in a scapegoat position. So she pulling my shit, and I'm trying to really get my shit out, but she very much pulling my shit. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, pull a real bitch hair. The only bitch out here that got some hair. Fuck. And so she finally ended up letting me go. It's like, I got this thing, like, my hair thick. First of all, you pull my hair out, you do some stuff like that. My hair not going, though. It's not going nowhere. And if it do, it ain't that much. It's probably the same amount that'll come out when I comb it. So I just ripped my shit. Like, I just ripped my shit, let her take whatever she had in her hand the most, and I just ripped myself out her hands. I turned around, the police there again. So the police left the first time, and they said if they come the second time, they was going to arrest some people or whatever. So, my head is hurting so bad. So, where was I at? So, yeah, so when I turned around or whatever, the police, they right there. I don't know if they had just pulled up. I don't know if they saw everything that happened. I don't know really what was going on. I don't know. But I turned around, the police right there. So they ready to arrest some people because, like they said, if they had to come back, some people was getting arrested. So I see them. They put my sister, the Taurus, in handcuffs. But I don't know how that all happened. But I saw the little part of her getting her handcuffs on her. And I was like, I didn't know what to think. It was so much adrenaline pumping. I couldn't even see straight. Like, so many people just was pulling my hair out, pulling my brains out. She was hitting my head. My head was just fucked up. Just fucked up. But I wasn't like I couldn't feel it. I just could feel my vision, just like, I could feel my head like throbbing and pulsing. But like, I couldn't feel no pain, if that make any sense. But that's because the adrenaline. But then I see them taking FN Aquarius, and they arresting him. And then I see them and so it was another guy who was older. Turned out he was involved. So FN, and then this other older guy who, I don't know his zodiac sign, so I'm not going to say his name, and I'm not going to say his zodiac sign because I don't know his zodiac sign, but I'm not going to say his name either. But so his grown self was in the mix too. I don't even know exactly where he had came in it. I don't know exactly what happened. Like I said, I wasn't focused on the outside stuff. I was focused on people was putting their hands on me. But they putting him in handcuffs too. And I'm like, whoa, what did I miss of this whole, like, what was going on? So I know for a fact people was jumping in my fight, which I really wasn't fighting. I really wasn't. But I didn't know, like, really all the stuff that was going on. There was so much stuff going on. But so that was 3 people they put in handcuffs. So I seen they let my sister out of handcuffs, but they took FN Aquarius, and then the other guy, they took them and rolled off. And mind you, so they took FN Aquarius because he punched my cousin, the Taurus, in the face, and her eye was leaking blood. So that's why they took him. And when I turn around, I'm looking for them. So she was finna go to the hospital, but they spin a block around. I had missed my period a few days before that, and I took a pregnancy test, and that was the day that me and my sister got into a fight. That's the day I took my pregnancy test, and it said negative. So I didn't think too much of when me and her got into a fight that night, because I took it in the morning. Because, you know, supposedly you're supposed to take pregnancy tests in the morning, and it said negative. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not pregnant. But my period was late. That's why I thought I was pregnant. So then still for the next few days, my period didn't come. But then on June 4th, right after this fight, after both of these fights happened, it was like 10 or 15 minutes after the fight had ended, the second fight with the Leo had ended, I started cramping so bad. Like, I was like, oh, shoot, I'm starting my period. So it was cramping to where I thought I should have been bleeding heavy, because my periods is heavy. Like, they crazy heavy. Like, quick, and they quick. So I go to run up the stairs or whatever before my cousins and them leave or whatever to go to the hospital. And I'm spotting. I'm not bleeding. I'm spotting. And it's a little spot, and I'm not bleeding. Like, it's pink. It's like pink and a little bit brown, like discharge of spot. Like, it's very tiny. And I'm like, is this implantation bleeding? Like, is this implantation bleeding or something? Like, what's going on? Or I'm like, damn, I just fought. Like, what if I took the test too early and now I'm pregnant, and now I just fought and now my baby gonna die or something like that? So I'm like, oh my God. Mind you, I had just came back from Arizona. When this popped off and me and my sister fought, all of this stuff happened, I had just came back from being in Arizona for a month. And that's why I knew it was a possibility that I could have been pregnant, because, you know, I did the do while I was in Arizona at around the right time too. So I'm like, hold on, y'all, I'm finna come with y'all, because they was finna go to the hospital, so I'm finna come with y'all. So I go to the hospital with my cousin. You know, she get took to her spot because she bleeding, her eye bleeding, so like that's very serious. So they ask me what's happening, whatever. And I tell them I'm spotting, whatever. I just got jumped 2 times. I'm spotting, and I did take a pregnancy test because I thought I was pregnant, but it was a few days ago and it said negative. But I still haven't got my period, whatever. And now I'm spotting. So they took me in, and they went and they was doing they did a test basically to see if anything was wrong, see if I'm pregnant, and see if I was having a miscarriage, or if I was like had internal bleeding, or if I had like something like that basically. So they doing my test or whatever. And that whole story, a whole different thing. But that's what happened in the hospital for me. But mind you, I start hearing my cousin, so I can hear her clearly. So I hear her talking about like what happened or whatever. And I could tell she literally cattle corner from me in the next room. Diagonal from me in the next room. So I'm listening to her conversation, whatever, and she like, yeah, they took Keirra, and she, she was bleeding, she could have been pregnant, da-da-da. Mind you, I don't know who she talking to, but in my head, I'm like, oh my God, why is she telling them that I could be pregnant, whoever she talking to, because I ain't tell nobody that. But it was fine. I wasn't tripping about it, though. But right as I'm looking out the room and trying to see if I can see her to try to get her attention, I see a police officer sitting in the middle between our 2 rooms. And I'm like, whoa, why is he sitting right there? Why is he here? And I think he was there because my cousin was the one, like her eye was bleeding, and they had took, FN, who had made her eye bleed. So I felt like, okay, so that's probably why he right there, excuse me. But he was looking at me. He wasn't facing her room or nothing. Like, he was looking at me in my room, and I'm like, what the heck? Then next, I see another police officer come, and he whirling somebody in a wheelchair, and that person wrapped up in a blanket, so I can't see no skin color at first. Like, I can't see nothing. I just know it's a police officer wheeling a wheelchair, which to me, I thought that was weird. So I tuned in. So I'm texting on my phone, though. I'm on my phone, though, but I'm tuned in to what's going on in the hallway. Then I just felt my spirit like get hot or whatever. So I look up because somebody looking at me. Obviously, somebody looking at me. And I look up, and it's the other dude who I don't know his zodiac sign. He's staring at me. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Why is he right here? Why is he right here? And I'm like, wait, why is he in the hospital? And I see blood, and I see, like, he got blood on his cover and everything. I'm like, whoa, wait. What really happened? What really just happened all outside like that? Because I don't know nothing about what's going on with, well, like, why is he here? What's going on? Why did he even get arrested? Like, what's going on? I was so confused. But he had, like, looked at me, and he, like, kind of smirked in a way, like a devilish smirk. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was thinking to myself, why did they put us all by each other? Well, me and my cousin, okay, I get that. It was nothing wrong with that too much. But I was like, why did he just put, first of all, why did they just put this together like this? That was very, very, very weird to me. So she come to my room, and she walked past his room, and she don't see him in there. So I'm like, did you see him? They brought him. Why they put him right there? And she would start talking to me, and I thought she knew who I was talking about, but then she was talking about the police officer that's sitting right there. So I'm like, oh, no, not him, baby. Woo off the bam. And she was like, what? Where he at? I'm like, in that room you just walked by. And she was like, nuh-uh. And so I'm like, yes. So then me and her end up leaving or whatever. So we ended up having to walk by the room again. And the room door was closed. Y'all know in the hospital they close the door or whatever. So the room door was closed, but the curtain thing wasn't all the way closed. And, you know, this guy, he wear, like, distinctive, like, all the people wear distinctive clothes. Like, so if you saw the clothes, you know who it is. So we saw his foot and his leg, his pants leg. And she was like, that's him. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. So mind you, so that's that story. So I get from the hospital or whatever, my auntie telling me, well, they come to pick us up. My auntie telling me, like, yeah, your mama said you can't come back, whatever, she putting you out. Which I knew my mama was telling me to go spend the night over my auntie in them house, told me to get out, whatever, she was going back to work, told all of us actually to get out. But she didn't specifically specify to me that, like, you know, you can't come back at all, like, period. You really got to go figure out a life. Like, you really got to go do your thing. I don't give a fuck about what you doing. Just go find, you know, just get the fuck out of my face and get the fuck out of my house, basically. So, I'm staying at my auntie in them house for the rest of the night, you know, and we deciphering what's going on. So, long story short, they helped me fill in pieces that I didn't know about, which was because I was, you know, on the ground, you know, blocking people's shots that they was sending at me and stuff. But so I found out. So the other guy, he got arrested because he inserted himself in the second fight when I was fighting. Well, I wasn't fighting, but when the Leo was fighting me, he inserted himself into the mix too much to where they saw it, and that's why they arrested him. Like I said, when I got up from that second fight, the police was already right there. As soon as I turned around, they was out their cars and everything right there walking up or whatever. But yeah, I don't even know, like, the surroundings. All I know is I saw people standing on the corner watching from Cattle Corner right across from the Delaware sign and stuff. People was watching. It looked like somebody was recording too. Meanwhile, when the first fight started happening, Aaron's was at my house, my mama's house, and they was taking out the washer and dryer because, you know, my mama was getting her own washer and dryer now, so they could come get that one. So they saw the first part of everything and how it started and what was happening, whatever, because they got let in the house to go, you know, do errands. It's what they do, take the washer and stuff. So they was there from the time that I went inside the house to go put my shoes on before anything had broke out or whatever. And then when they was leaving out the house, that's when the Virgo started fighting me. And then they didn't leave all the way until after me and the Virgo stopped fighting, because when I went to go get my phone, which was closer to my mama's house than the street that we was, you know, in, you know, acting a fool in or whatever, they was already, like, they was standing there, but they was basically, they could leave, but they was just standing there, I guess, watching, you know. But mind you, all of these people in the cut in the background and stuff like that, and I guess they don't know what to do with stuff like that happen, so they just watching and recording and stuff like that. But mind you, this whole situation, my sister set me up. And I don't know exactly, it was so much animosity and so much negative energy and so much stuff going on in the background before June 4th. But I only had the spiritual sense of it. Nobody was coming to my face telling me, you know, Keirra, this how I feel about you and this how I feel, da da da. Nobody was doing that at first. Other than the night before, that's how I knew when but when Virgo was coming to the door, whatever, I knew that they wanted to fight, because the day before that, the Virgo, she came into the house, she was to my house, whatever, and she was like, you know, why am I hearing me and my brother Aries, and people mouth or whatever, people going around saying that me and my brother fucked or whatever. Whoever saying that, next person I hear said that, or I hear say it out their mouth, I'm fighting them, whatever. And I was like, okay, that's cool, goodbye. So when they came back, that's how, like, it was like so much stuff to foreshadow everything that was happening, because in the background everything was happening. My sister was setting me up. Meanwhile, she didn't know that her guy friends who she was trying to set me up for and all that kind of stuff, well, she was setting me up because they was setting her up, and they was setting up a whole bunch of stuff, stealing from us and everything. It was different groups. It was overall in general a big ass group. Everybody had their little clique. Technically, me, my sister, and my ex, and FN boy, and Aries, the brother, we was a little clique. And the other brother, who was the real oldest, but he just wasn't always there all the time. And, you know, he wasn't, I don't know. He just wasn't like the big brother. The other brother was the big brother. So, us six, we was a little friend group at first. That's what I'm saying. This whole stuff was going down for a year and a half. We was a friend group at first. So-called friends. They was faking they stuff real good. Even me and my ex, turned out FN and him had a bet to begin with of, you know, if you don't get her in this time, I'm shooting my shot and I'm going to get her. This. Mind you, I ain't know that. And I didn't even know they went to my school. Well, I knew FN from the bus because FN was always flirting and being flirty with the Virgo. Which at first I didn't think nothing of it. I ain't know. And at that time, I didn't even know Virgo like that. I just knew that was Aries' little sister. So I wasn't tuned in like that. So I didn't care. But I remember that part too. But yeah, so FN and my ex Virgo, they was plotting on their own. Then they came into a big group or whatever. Then Aries and their family was plotting some stuff on their own too. Like I'm saying, it was a big group, but it was small little clusters and so much fakeness and like trails and all that kind of stuff. But the more and more that I got depressed and started having negative energy and all that kind of stuff, the more I started figuring things out. And I was crazy at that point, because technically all of that stuff wasn't in the physical. They wasn't showing it and saying it on the outside to where I should have been able to know. So me knowing, it was like, oh no, she crazy, she tweaking. That was their favorite word. She tweaking, Keirra tweaking, she tweaking, Kiki tweaking. Mind you, I really wasn't. It's just that I was really peeping everybody bullshit. But yeah, so that's my story of June 4th. So like I said, it's a hella big story and a bigger picture of everything. But I feel like that wasn't too long ago, mind you. But also I feel like my sister, dirty as fuck for setting me up to begin with. Virgo and Leo, dirty as fuck for putting their hands on me. Mind you, I had just got finished telling the Virgo one that I had a feeling I was pregnant. So I don't know if she might have thought and tried to put two and two together and was thinking that I was going to be pregnant by FN Aquarius, and she was going to be mad about that. Which I already had got some spirit knowledge that she was going to get pregnant by him too. So mind you, when I had a pregnancy scare, because I did have a pregnancy scare from him. Mind you, when I saw the vision of her being pregnant on the stairs one day, because mind you, they wasn't supposed to be fucking. And they kept telling people they wasn't fucking. Mind you, everybody knew like, yes they is, they fucking or whatever. But she had went down the stairs. She was at my mama's house. She went down the stairs, and when she went around the post, my vision, like, I just saw her having a big ass stomach. So I was like, oh, she pregnant. So I told her to come back up the stairs. She come back up the stairs, but I look stomach flat as fuck. I'm like, I know for a fact I just saw her stomach was big as fuck, round as fuck, like a little boy was in there. But stomach was flat as hell, and I'm like, okay, so that's probably just foreshadowing that she gonna be pregnant, or she pregnant. And obviously it's gonna be by him. So I'm like, first of all, I'm not sharing no baby daddy. Mind you, I wonder if I have to ever share a baby daddy, which that's why I was like, nah to the ex or whatever. So I don't want to be the second baby mama. I want to be the first baby mama. Fuck you talking about. If I can't be the only baby mama, I'm for sure going to be only the first one. And if that don't happen in my life, I'm going to be very mad if I got to be somebody other baby mama. I don't like that. No. So when I saw that though, and I could tell, like, yeah, for sure, they gonna end up having a baby together, I was like, God, please, if I'm pregnant by him, please don't let the baby be born. Please give me the baby a different time with a different person, because I don't want to share no baby daddy, especially not like this. So I was praying to God for a good hot minute, and I had just told him that I was having a pregnancy scare, which at that time, if I would have been pregnant, I hadn't had sex in like 6 months, which the last time was with him. So I would have been around 6 months pregnant. So I was letting him know, like, yeah, I feel like I'm pregnant. The doctors, though, they not like telling me I'm pregnant. They telling me, in my ultrasound, I see a baby. And the ultrasounds, they not telling me they see a baby. They also didn't tell me that they didn't see a baby either. They just not communicating with me or whatever. But after that, I just was praying to God, like, God, I really want a baby, but I don't want no baby with him, especially if he having a baby with her. I do not want to share no baby mama. I mean, no baby daddy. I don't want no baby mama drama no more. All that stuff dead, God. I want an amazing life. I want a happy life, and I want a happy family. So I'm like, God, if this is the situation, you could take my baby away and give me my baby a different time with a different father. So I prayed that to God, and that's a different story for a different time. But yeah, so that whole story, that whole thing, like, my sister really dirty, and effing Aquarius dirty for putting himself in the situation, because he didn't even have to be in the whole situation this day, he definitely didn't have to insert himself in the situation. So when he got arrested and he got in trouble or whatever for what he did and what happened with him and what he did, he didn't even have to be in the situation. He literally inserted himself in a situation, and then on top of that, chose to be on Virgo and Leo's side. Probably because he knew if he wouldn't have been on his side, those little girls could have really got him in trouble. They really could have got him in trouble. And Virgo stayed trying to get people she be fucking that she don't need to be fucking in trouble, telling people that she got raped and stuff. As soon as it get popped out that she did some stuff, well, he made me do it, da da da. And then here come her Aries brother, always want to fight. Mind you, it's the sister, the girl that be doing this stuff. But anyway, that's another story. Not my story, so I'm going to shut up about it, because y'all know, like I said, people don't like me telling their business. Which, if I know your business, bitch, you ain't got no business. The fuck? If I know your business, you ain't got it. And nobody really got it. No, you ain't got no business. Y'all got to do shit in the open. Everybody know your business. It's my story now. If I'm in it, it's my story. And if it's my story, I'm going to speak about it. And I'm not lying about shit. If you don't want to be a part of my stories, don't ever insert yourself in my life. Because y'all didn't have to be a part of my life. Y'all could have definitely stayed y'all asses where the fuck y'all was. But instead, y'all wanted to be greedy, stealing out my mama motherfucking house. But I rest my case. Rested.